Ventura by Sofía Valdés. It is 6 songs, 19 minutes long, firmly in drop territory.
It's definitely a drop. Yep.
Yeah, and it's a super really like nice indie album.
Yeah,
really like it.
It's short with what it is, but I mean, granted, it is a drop, so there's only so much you can do within the confines of that.
And every every song on the drop, mind you, I think makes good use of the time.
It does. Everything is like, even with it being so short, only 6 songs, everything actually goes together quite well. You can tell that there's a theme within the album. There's a theme of the music in total. So the production, everything has a reason that it's there, and nothing is misstepped or put out of place, which is quite good, which I do like. Her voice, fantastic.
Yes.
It starts off "Handful of Water," which is that like there's the indie female singer-songwriter that is like category-ish that I've been hearing a lot more in the past 3-4 years or so. It's becoming more into prominence. There's stuff like Claro or a couple others where it's like more hipster indie style, and then you have more of this, which is pop indie, which I like to say, which is kind of like going almost into a variation of pop, but then stripping it back a little bit and adding a little bit more different substances to it to make it more indie, if that makes sense. Because I'm getting into more and more of that where it's becoming more popular, I guess.
Pop song construction, but indie like pieces.
Process and pieces, yeah. Exactly. But I thoroughly enjoy it because within that, you're creating something that's different and you're making your own subcategory out of a category that is completely way oversaturated and a lot of it is not that great. And you're making something great out of that.
Yeah, you're gonna rescue a lot of like pop people who like only listen to pop music and go, oh, there's indie pop. What's this? Oh, there's indie. What's this?
Exactly, and then you can just fall down the rabbit hole within that because this is an easy listen to for a lot of people. Like example, "Handful of Water," like that first track. Like people who like Ariana Grande or so on and so forth can get into this, be like, "Ooh, this is nice," and then from there you just go down the rabbit hole of just good music, and that's when you just swoop in here. You find our two ugly mugs on YouTube. You see our review, and then you just like,
and then you
want
the
fuck a dive, and then next thing you know, you're subscribing, to our Patreon and stuff, and you're seeing the behind the scenes where the uncensored versions of Audioface.
that meme where it's like a ruler propping up a box and like a string. It's like it's a trap. But it's a good trap to get you into interesting music. But yeah, it starts off with a really strong tone on that. And then
second track, "Lonely" is Shuei Strip Back. That's where you get to that's a solid indie track where it's very airy. It's just barely a little bit of guitar, tiny bit of production, but not much into that track. Like not too much thrown into the track, but it's still great because her vocals are really good, especially towards the end when they layer together and stuff. When you're doing different stuff, it's very, very good. Yeah. And then after that, you got "Amsterdam," which is similar to that, but more of like you're really going deep into a good voice.
Yeah.
Like you're really exploring your vocal range a bit more, and that's still slowed back a little bit, but then you have more production into that song compared to "Lonely."
Yeah.
Very good still.
There's a little bit of a thing that is in "Amsterdam" and definitely continues in "Gems," where it uses kind of like a clap as a percussion thing.
Yes.
As a resident clap snap hater in pop music, do you hate it?
No, because it's not clap snap. Because it's like trap snare, the same thing. So like you can make a trap beat. You can use trap snare-ish. If you use it in the right ways, it can be actually very good, and it's a very useful tool in certain regards. Example, 21, one of my favorite rappers, can use it in different tracks.
Tory Ma, one of your favorite rappers?
Did I say Tory Ma? Really?
Yes.
I thought I said 21. I might have said 21. I might have slurred it to Tory. It might have sounded like Tory Ma. This would be hilarious. Has Tory Ma ever used trap snare? That's actually a good
I really want to, definitely probably at least somewhere, but all I was picturing was Tory Ma with the dagger.
I'm so down. In my head, there's a dagger.
In my head, there's a dagger. Dancing on Bart like a weirdo.
Anyways, going back to my previous point, within certain regards of things I don't like, trends I don't like in music, you can make a trend be nice if you do it in a different way. Because the issue with trends is people literally copy, paste, and it sounds exactly the same as someone else is using it. And that's something that I've heard a lot more in a lot of alternative rock and alternative bands where, my favorite thing ever, which was Foster the People, which they have redeemed themselves. So they did do that, was they were the first ones that really used that snap clap, and then everybody else just followed through and it sounded like dog shit. But within this, you're using it in a different regard. So it's not just your average snap clap, copy, paste. It's a little bit more on the nose. So
Yeah, I think it's definitely a better job here, and it's
because
playing more
the thing
like
you're
it's
adding
instrumental.
Yeah,
aspect.
exactly. You're adding it to drums. You're adding it to other stuff instead of it being like snap, clap, snap, clap, and that being the main thing. It's just an additive to it. You know, it's a little extra pine nuts in your pesto sauce. That's it. So
yeah, which I'd be steering clear from personally, but.
Exactly.
Little did I know, and Oceans Away, especially like the contrast with Handful of Water to Oceans Away. But Little Did I Know is like a softer kind of song. Again, it's really good to contrast this to some of the softer songs from bigger pop artists and say like, this is a way to do this in a little bit of a different way. It builds up really nicely using the acoustic guitar as percussion as well. And so that's really great. But yeah, I love Oceans Away. It's one of my favorites.
It's great. And I believe this is her first EP or so. So she's a newer artist too. And it's a very good like work from her. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I'm liking this category more and more just being put out. I mean, female artists are killing it right now. And it's just being shown that there's so much more substance into things. You just need to fish through it, unfortunately. But great track.
But that's why you got Audioface.
Exactly. You go to us.
Yes, Arbitrary Scale. This is a trip to South America. So you're in Chile?
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 You're in Chile? Chile? Okay. I was gonna say this is like you're going to Portugal or something like that. Like in the very west of Europe. Yeah. I can see that. You're just like chilling and
it's
like
pretty. There's mountains.
Exactly.
It's fun for the whole family.
Yeah. You got water there, you got mountains there. You got some big ass fucking waves in Portugal too. So next thing you know, you're like, that's a 30-foot wave. Oh my God.
Oops. It's not exactly a beach there either, so you gotta watch out.